Well, hey there, it's Jen.
And Elke, welcome back to the Jen and Elke Show, where we speak about the Zazzle platform as a way to make money online using print on demand and e-commerce. We are Zazzle Expansion Experts, and we have helped our clients sell over $95 million in 2024 alone on the platform. And so we know a thing or two about some mistakes that people are making, because when people come into our Profit by Design Academy coaching program, which has been very helpful to a lot of people, they come in with a lot of mistakes. And so we thought, okay, what could we say to the general public, like yourself watching, that we could help identify, and how those could be like the reasons why. And when you don't do those, then you start to succeed. So 3 common mistakes that new Zazzle designers make or sellers make. And so let's get started.
hmm
Mistake number 1, uploading random designs without a niche or strategy, or niche as Americans say, but we're Canadian. So you want to dive into this one?
Sure. So if you haven't watched some of our previous videos, you can definitely go and search on our YouTube channel because we love to talk about niche or niches. And there's actually a free downloadable in the description of this video that you can grab that will helps you with the 150 niches and trends and designs that can be used on Zazzle. So make sure that after you watch this video, you go and grab that if you need help with your niche or niche choice. But a lot of people who first start out on the Zazzle platform don't have really an idea on where they want to start. And myself and both Elke, we were the exact same way when we first started our Zazzle business. We didn't have a clue on what a niche or niche was actually even, right? We had no idea what that was.
Yeah,
And
like
so
we didn't even know that we had to focus on one.
so when we first started out, we had no idea. So we started uploading random designs thinking, oh, well, this is a cute design. I like that design. So maybe somebody else likes it. Or we would see something, in the store physically, like where we lived. And we're like, oh, well, that's a cool idea because it's selling in the store. So maybe we should put it up and make a version of our own, right? And, do something like that on Zazzle. And we never really.
Or also we were both like photography and art and all that stuff, and we go like, well, I've got all these photos, let's upload them all.
Yeah, no, very
Yeah.
true. We had like a whole stash of things that we used to do is, sunsets and pictures of flowers and things like that. We were thinking, well, we've got all this material and all this stuff, so why don't we just put it up on a mug because we have it, right? And that was just not the greatest strategy. So if you were starting out and this resonates with you and you're like, yeah, my store kind of looks a little bit disjointed and I don't know why, it's because you don't have a focus. And so we want to really hone in on the fact that you need to have a strategy within a niche or a niche. Go and do the research on Zazzle to figure out what really resonates with somebody who you would like to sell to, and how can you create designs and products within your store that really focus in on something, a certain common theme. Okay.
Yes. And you know what? It's funny because, and I just want to make sure I'm not going to sneeze here. What's funny is it's not so much that we're worried, and like Jen said something about like, oh, your store's going to be a mess. That's not the point. It's not like the judgment part, but it does make sense, because then if the customer is looking at your store, they go like, what's going on here, right? People need to just like be funneled in. And as much as it for us as designers, we're just like, well, what if we miss out? But it's not that. It's like, let's at least get them to start buying something from us. We can always branch out later. We can always increase our inventory and our scope, but let's just get good at something. It's not so matter of worried about mess. It's more a matter of can I actually get this system to work even in one niche or niche first? And that's the big caveat and understanding. So if that feels like, oh, like that just happened for you as an aha moment, that was huge for us before we figured it out, because it wasn't that we were just desperately trying to figure out where something would sell in whatever niche possible. And like at one point, I'm going to make t-shirts, or, oh, I'm going to focus on this. And instead, it was not so much where we focused, because a lot of stuff sells in a lot of different niches on the Zazzle platform, but we had to get good at selling in one niche and have one strategy to start with. And so if that's something that resonates with you now, then that's already a huge win, and you can avoid that mistake for sure.
Mm-hmm. The next mistake is not using proper titles, tags, and descriptions for example, no SEO or not very good SEO. Okay. And we always like to talk about this too. We have lots of videos on this, but it's a very big common mistake of people who are on the Zazzle platform. And like we just said, uploading a random design. Okay. So you didn't have a niche, you didn't have a theme, you didn't have a purpose of maybe what the design was supposed to be for, just an uploading a random design. Well, now you probably don't have the research done for your titles and tags. And that's very much connected to your niche research or your niche research and understanding the theme, the design style, the colors associated with it, who it's for. And you really have to utilize your titles and tags properly, because the only way somebody's going to find your design is by searching for it on the Zazzle platform. And if your search words are not cohesive with what your design is, unfortunately, it's just going to be lost in cyberspace, right? So imagine, I like to play like this game of thinking about, okay, well, how would I personally search for something on Google? Like, for example, if I'm looking up, a recipe for dinner, right? I'm going to say, chicken Parmesan pasta recipe. Those are like specific words that I've put in there so that I can find the recipe that I'm looking for, rather than just saying, okay, recipe for dinner. I'm never going to find what I'm looking for. There are going to be a million results. And so that's the same sort of thing on Zazzle, is that if you're creating, let's say, a mug that has a floral graphic on it with a photo and it's for Mother's Day, you want to have those words associated with your mug so that people can find it.
Yes.
Okay.
As easy as that sounds, it's the most difficult thing for everyone to do. And that's why we do a lot of coaching on that, because it is truly difficult. Like whatever you like, as long as you stick with that, you'll already do well. But then there's nuances, right? Depending on how the algorithm sorts itself out and what Zazzle's bots are doing right now. So it does get a little bit more technical, but at least that's a good starting point for you. And make sure you do use those descriptive words. But I thought you were going to actually give the example of, and we're still on mistake number 2. I thought you were going to give the example of where people like put in things like Serenity because it's the name of their painting, or they put in some really technical flower name that no one would ever search for. And so that's a big tip and to help people too. Just make sure it's something that other people are going to use to search, not just 2 people in the world that know that the correct genus and genome of whatever a flower looks like, or whatever that flower is.
Yeah.
That you've used
Well, and then also words that people don't know how to spell very well, like the word turquoise is a weird one, but then other words, I've seen so many words that you're just thinking to yourself, well, I wouldn't even know how to put that into the Google machine. So yeah.
Okay. Mistake number 3.
Mistake number 3 is just giving up too early. We have had so many people who have come to us for coaching and for just support and advice and tips, and they've admitted to us that I've given up. Like, I didn't know. I put in the white, like I'm waving my white flag. I gave up because I didn't see the results. And we want to say that Zazzle is a slow-paced business. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. And a lot of the things out there on the internet that actually tell you that you can get rich quick by doing print on demand are not the truth. It is something that you're supposed to build up as a business. You have to have the skill sets. You have to have the business in place. You have to have the research done. And so giving up too early because you posted a product for sale yesterday and you didn't see a sale today is, unfortunately, that's not the reality. Okay. And so giving up too early because you don't see the results is something that is so common. And it is also very much tied to the fact that you have to know what is selling when, right? If you're posting products for sale that actually won't be selling for a couple months from now or until even next year, you're building up your inventory. But because you're not seeing the results right now, it doesn't mean that it's not going to work next week or next month or next year. Elke and I have products that are still selling in our store that we made in 2010. That's 15 years ago. Okay. And I have the proof from it.
Yeah, and some of those products that started selling only sold 2 years later.
Yeah.
Some sold within about 2 months, but some I thought were not going to work, and then all of a sudden they started selling. Don't give up.
And that being said, we don't want to discourage people and say, well, oh my goodness, it's going to take me 2 years to start making money. No, but it is very dependent on what's selling within a certain time period and the different seasons, the different times of year. And so you have to know and give yourself grace that maybe your inventory isn't supposed to be selling right now. It might be selling later on. So the results and giving up too early is one of the big mistakes that a lot of people make, because if you give up, then you're literally just you're not allowing yourself to be potentially making money, because you're not
And
putting the effort
also,
in.
yeah, sorry, I'm overriding you there. And also, one of our top coaching clients, who's now made over a quarter of like actually he's 3/4 of the way to $1 million. So he's made over $750,000 in earnings, not sales, earnings. He spent 5 years on Zazzle beforehand trying to make it work, and he made $2,500. And then since he's been with us in the last 7 years, he's made over $750,000 in payout.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not a matter of giving up too early. It's a matter of actually getting the help so that you can start making the money, because you probably have what it takes. You just don't have how to do it. And so don't forget that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So to wrap up, we have some great free guides for you. The links are in the description of this video. We did talk about niche as well. There's a downloadable to help you with your niche choice and understanding the design themes and product types that go along with that. So make sure that you grab those. We want to help you because we know that you might be feeling some of these things right now, and we don't want you to make these mistakes, because we have helped our clients make a lot of money, and we can never make any income claims, but we just know that they needed the help from the beginning. They couldn't do it on their own, and we know that you might be searching for help as well, and we want to be here to help you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.